Today on Adjusting, we are diving into another cognitive distortion, disqualifying the positive. You know, when your brain automatically finds the negative in something good, like when you're at work and you get positive praise on a project and you say, anyone could have done that. Or you're out with your friend and say, oh, I really love spending time with you. And you say, they're just being polite. Yeah, that. So today we're going to talk about why your brain does this, how to catch yourself in the act, and what you can do for your future self to be able to hold space for the good things that are really happening for you. So let's dive in and welcome to Adjusting. And we're back with another episode of Adjusting Podcast with your host, Justin G. Nelson. I say this about every episode, but I really feel like this episode, this one here, might be one of the most vulnerable episodes only because this is something that everyone does, especially those who grew up in a faith-based household, and we are very humble about things. We take compliments and then we brush them off. Or if you are someone who dealt with something traumatic and a perfectionist or very high demanding living arrangement, when you're giving a compliment, sometimes it's followed up by a task. Or like when you're high excelling, I'm speaking for myself here. When you're high excelling and it's always, oh my God, you were so good at this. Can you do this? Like, God damn, like, can I just be and not have to work all the time to prove my worth, you know? So anyway, today's episode is about the cognitive distortion, disqualifying the positive. So we're going to start with our breathing. Before we get to the breathing, thank you all for tuning in. This is episode 4. And thanks again to everyone who has subscribed to my Substack channel. Everything is in the link below. I owe you all a lot of affirmations, so I gotta just schedule a day to make those videos because I really enjoy adding that to the morning routine of it all. I hope you all have a morning routine. You're journaling and doing all those things to keep you grounded. I'm really trying to get back to that. I can't make a podcast and talk about things you should do and I'm not doing them. So, let's fix that. Let's do better. And TJ's back. TJ had some time in his schedule to edit some episodes. So, hey, TJ's back. His season of Tea with TJ is launching very soon. So, make sure y'all subscribe there and support him. He is really close to his, I think, 10,000 downloads, I think. So please support that because that means a lot in the podcast world. Okay. So do that. Great. So let's start with our sacred breath. So if you're driving, focus on the road. You can pause and come back. You can say, bless the Lord, oh my soul, and skip forward. If you are home in the office, somewhere where you can take a minute to ground yourself for this episode, I invite you to do so by grounding your feet, putting your feet flat on the floor, relaxing your ankles, relaxing your shins, your knees, relax your hips and your thighs, relax your stomach, relax your chest, relax your shoulders, relax your elbows. We never relax those. Relax your neck. Relax your cheeks, relax your nose, relax your forehead. Close your eyes, and we're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and release for 8. Let's begin. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let it all out. Let it all out. Great. All right. Next breath is just going to be a deep inhale and an exhale. Okay. Breathe in and out. Perfect. All right. So I got a lot of notes. What is disqualifying the positive. All right. So it's a thinking pattern that distorts what's really happening and reinforces a negative behavior or belief. So in the big scheme of things, cognitive distortions are mental shortcuts our brain takes and they make us suffer more. So you reject or dismiss any type of positive experience by insisting that they don't mean it. And that's the end of the episode. I'm joking. So in work, your boss may say that was excellent. You really knew your stuff, but your brain said, "Well, I was over prepared. I was thinking of every worst case scenario." They say that to everyone. It's an easy topic. Like this was very entry level. So you really disqualify your worth. You disqualify your knowledge, your lived experience, all because your brain is just like they don't mean it. And when it comes to relationships, ooh, when it comes to relationship, your partner's like, "I love you so much," and scratch that, scratch the notes. When your partner, I know a lot of people can relate to this. When your partner says, "Love you," instead of "I love you," we look for that "I," because our nervous system has been wired to say if they don't say "I love you," they don't love me, But they do love you. It's just some people we misconstrue so much through a text message, or your friends say, "I was thinking about you. You're amazing." They probably just they probably just finished talking about me. You lied. I came up in a conversation. You didn't defend me. You're just like, you crossed my mind. Did I? Did I? That is just another way to disqualify the positive. Someone says, "You look beautiful." You're like, "Oh, this thing. Oh, I got it from Amazon. I just threw this on." Instead of taking the compliment. And that's where I am guilty. I am notorious for deflecting. Ooh, calling myself out. I don't take compliments well because it's either rooted in something sexual or something weird. And I'm just like, thank you. Thank you. I'm doing better. I am doing better. I did call somebody out for it though. And I was right. Because it was just like, "Oh, your hair looks good. Thanks. What do you want?" Can I see? You wanted something. It's always something. But the pattern that we see is that they're literally being handed love and appreciation, and they're literally handing you love and appreciation, and you're throwing back, "Nah, they don't count." Like, what else do they need to do? Even if they gave you the full Valentine's Day section at Walgreens, that would not be enough. You're gonna say it wasn't Target. We're boycotting Target. Okay, so get with the program. And then for my creatives, listen up. Okay, so I went to an audition. I think I've told you about this before, but I went to the audition for Pal Joey, which is now Chez Joey at Arena Stage. And Savion Glover was in the room. And Tony Goldwyn from Scandal, Fitzgerald, he was in the room. And I think I've healed from that. So now I'm not disqualifying the positive. That audition was like 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and I had the time of my life. I mean, me and Savion danced together, and Tony was like, "Yeah, you sound good." And the musician was doing his thing in the corner, and then my cognitive distortion of disqualifying the positive was just like, "Well, what if I didn't sound good enough?" Justin, they literally told you sounded good. But what if I'm not a great tap dancer? They didn't ask you to tap. They didn't ask you to tap. I didn't get called back, but I allowed so many negative things to rob me of this positive space. I was like, "Well, my song wasn't really jazz." The fact that I took a legit classical musical theater song and flipped it to jazz, pat myself on the back, okay? And in that moment, I was just like, "Oh, I gotta get back to vocal coaching. I have to figure out, like, I have to do better with my song selections. My song book isn't big enough." And it just really ruined that moment. And I talked to my vocal coach about it. I did get back into vocal coaching and stuff because I was just like, I didn't feel prepared. I was prepared. I was more prepared than I thought I was. And to my creators, you're more prepared than you think you are. Okay, just show up and let the Holy Spirit have its way. But you book a role after 50 auditions. You thought it was just one small role. Don't do that. Listen, I live for an ensemble track. Okay, baby, put me in an ensemble, and that was I did. What was this? Echoes of Truth. Was it Echoes of Truth? It was something that was back in the day. I'm pretty sure they thought y'all thought y'all was finna blackball me in Memphis. Tried it. I was supposed to be tree number 4 in the corner. Now this this is when the song You're So Contagious. You turn my pages. Keep me in something. You really turn me on. That was popular. And so I was in the back. I hope y'all are watching this on YouTube. But it was like, you be a tree and let the wind blow. And I'm back there, boom, 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 boom. Baby, I was giving you tropical tree, okay? And it was like, Justin, you're doing too much. I said, no, my tree moves differently. It was like, no. And I said, you know what? I ain't coming back. Because first of y'all cast me as tree number 4. I should have been tree number 1. Okay, so y'all think that I'm gonna settle for this dusty tree in the back? No. So that was my rant for this episode. Anyway, so if you're at work, going back to addressing how disqualifying the positive shows up, your boss says, I'm really impressed with that project you led. You went above and beyond. And you're thinking, I just did my job. And I think some of us do that because it's more so like, yeah, I did the bare minimum. Don't be trying to find more work for me to do. But in the disqualifying part of it all, it's just like, yeah, I just did my job. You know, I got lucky this time, and it's not really confident based. It's not rooted in confidence. Or you get a raise at work, and you're just like, well, everyone got a raise. You know, I didn't deserve this raise. It was just the economy is down, and they needed to keep up with that. No, you deserve that raise. And even in the day-to-day regular life, you have a really good day. Things went real smooth, okay? It felt good. You had a nice conversation at a coffee shop. And then you automatically say, well, today was great. Tomorrow's going to be horrible. I'm going to wake up with a migraine. They're going to be out of my favorite cold brew. I'm going to miss the train. It's just like, how do you rob tomorrow? How do you rob yourself of joy for tomorrow? Living in today. Like, what's that Bible verse? I think it's in Matthew. This is why I got to get up on my scripture, but it's something about don't rob tomorrow of today's joy or something like that. I have to look it up, y'all. I'll put it in the recap. But all that to say, even when you accomplish goals, you run a 5K, you read a book, okay, you stick to a new habit for 30 days. You thought, it wasn't hard. You know how hard that is? You know how hard it is to stick to something for at least 7 days, let alone 3, and you did it for 30? Stop it. But why do we do this? Why do we disqualify the positive when it comes to so many things? I think disqualifying the positive is one of the most standout cognitive distortions. So reason number 1, it's a protection mechanism. If you don't let the good stuff in, inevitably, bad can't hurt you as much. Or your brain says, if I don't get my hopes up, I can't be disappointed. Relatable. Don't believe that compliment feels like, well, I can't feel crushed when someone criticizes you. Don't celebrate the win. Can't feel devastated if you fail next time. It's armor. It's an exhausting armor. It's not the armor of the Lord. Okay, it's not the full armor of Jesus. It's more like the armor of deflection. I gotta write that down. Okay, but nonetheless, it's armor and it's heavy and it's something that is holding you back and blocking your light. Perfect. Reason number 2, it's a deep-seated belief of unworthiness. Somewhere along the way, you internalize that you don't deserve good things. You were taught you're only valuable when productive, perfect, or people-pleasing to others. That kind of sounds like it's my podcast. Like it sounds like slavery. It sounds like mental slavery. Okay, you only performing, you do good so you don't get hurt, or it's something else that happened to slaves. Okay, so could this be some type of generational trauma? Where it's not that, but it's this 2026 trauma. You know, I don't know. When something positive happens that doesn't fit the narrative, your brain rejects it. It creates cognitive dissonance. Cognitive distortion, cognitive dissonance. I'm reading the thesaurus this year. So that something. It's uncomfortable to hold two conflicting beliefs. I'm not good enough versus this person told me I did something great. Your brain resolves discomfort by deciding that positive things must not be true. Number 3 is hypervigilance. Okay, this is the third reason why we do this. You grew up constantly scanning for danger, rejection, and disappointment. Your nervous system learned to be on high alert for threats. Positive moments start to feel unsafe because they're unfamiliar. This is just too good to be true, so I need to protect myself for not believing it. I think a lot of kids deal with that. So your inner child might be fighting with this right now. Sorry. Get a blanket, get their favorite snack, light a candle or something. Number 4, it maintains consistency with self-concept. So this is a little deep. At least it's familiar. You disqualify the positive to stay consistent with the story you've been telling yourself. It's not that you want to feel bad. Your brain thinks it's keeping you safe by keeping self-perception predictable. Woo, my goodness. So I don't want to stay too long in this section of addressing, but here are a few physical sensations when receiving compliments. So your chest tightens, your stomach drops, your face flushes, and you have a sudden impulse to deflect. Yeah. So what's happening, your nervous system is activating. So when you spent years disqualifying the positive, your body registers positive moments as danger. So symptomatic nervous system is the fight, flight, freeze. That kicks in. Receiving something good feels threatening. It's unfamiliar. Ooh, that's relatable. So how does this go back to childhood trauma and rejection? Okay. You grew up where love was conditional. This is not my childhood, okay? I'm just telling you right now. My parents loved me. Now, outside of the house, this is where it happens. Only praised, valued when you achieved something or behaved a certain way. You learned positive moments are temporary and contingent on performance. Don't this sound like school or a little bit? Like when you were first in line or line leader, or you got to grade the papers, or like those things. Like in a way, they're a form of acknowledging the good or giving that child who really went above and beyond. But like the other kids, how did they make them feel? Oh, I hate it for them. You disqualify because you learn good doesn't always last unless you're consistently earning it. To my people who dismiss their accomplishments, you earned every single thing that you've got. Okay, that award, that raise, that role, that check, that partnership, that brand deal, all those things, you earned it. Okay. Your positive emotions or accomplishments were dismissed when you were younger. You didn't have a pizza party for every single thing you did. You didn't get $20 for your A's. Okay. You didn't go on trips for the summer. You didn't do those things to celebrate you. It was just expected. Example, you come home excited about an A on the test. Okay. Well, what about the B you got in math? Don't get too comfortable. And it's the parents. It be the parents. Just like, but I got an A on this test. Yeah, I don't care about the A. Don't get no B next time. Girl, see? This them old school parents. You learn celebrating yourself is unsafe. Positive moments should be minimized. You're supposed to focus on what's wrong, not what's right. And then comparison culture, as a child, consistently measured against siblings, classmates, impossible standards. You internalize your achievements don't count unless you're the best. Second place doesn't count. Yes, it does. A compliment doesn't count unless it comes from someone important. A win doesn't count unless it's perfect. Your brain learned good enough doesn't exist. My God. So more of these examples will be in the Substack. So section 2, adjusting. Noticing the pattern. So now we've addressed it. We've addressed every single scenario possible. Okay, I tried to make sure I touch on everything. But now we're going to talk about adjusting. So here's where we start this shift. The first step isn't to stop doing it. Okay, because sometimes we need a little bit of disqualifying to put a little fire up on our butt and say, okay, I got to lock in. I got to get with the program. The first step, though, is just to notice when you're doing it. Once you start paying attention, you're going to notice it everywhere. Okay? Every single time you're like, I'm doing it again. So next time someone gives you a compliment or something good, just pause. And I've been real good about this. I'm like, thank you. It's awkward though. I'm just like, I want to deflect. But I'm just like, thank you. Thank you so much. Before you automatically say, oh, it was nothing, or explain it away, take a breath. We're just going to pause. We're going to be in the moment. We're going to allow that compliment to go from our brain down to our stomach and just let it run, okay? Let it move. Notice your thought immediately. Ask yourself, am I about to explain away something good right now? That's it. Just notice it. That's the first step. Just noticing it and pausing. So I'll put some journal prompts on Substack, but it's worth it. So basically it's like write down what was a positive moment for today, yada, yada, yada. It'll be on Substack. So how it shows up in your body. Physical red flags. Remember when we talked about your nervous system treating positive moments as danger? Let's break that down a little more. So it's like cringy. It feels real cringy to get all that attention for something positive. You be like, stop it. Like somebody pull the fire alarm. Someone shout, like a baby start crying. Someone's phone go off. Something to break this awkward moment. It's uncomfortable. It is really uncomfortable. But your nervous system is going like, alert, alert, alert. And then some other things, you get a rapid heartbeat. You think you're going to have a heart attack. Okay, anxiety, it's just like, it's high. You got the urge to move away. And then your shoulders creep up, your jaw clench. It's just like, Lord, if you sent the flood or fire right now, I'd be happy. How does this go back to your younger self, though? This is going to feel super uncomfortable, but ask yourself this. Seriously, be serious, y'all. Be serious. Ask yourself this. When did you first learn that good things don't last or don't count? It could honestly be a death that you experienced of someone you loved, and that first instance of death was just like, oh, I thought they would be here forever. I thought this moment would be longer. That, in a way, could have been your trauma response by shutting down, and you never had a chance to come out of that dark place. Maybe you can pinpoint a specific moment. Maybe it's just a general feeling from childhood. Either way, that is valid. So here's some other reflection questions. This got real dark real quick. I am so sorry. Was there a time when I was really excited about something and it got diminished? Did I learn that celebrating was dangerous or led to disappointment? Was I taught that I had to earn love and approval? Did good moments in my house often get followed up by chaos and arguments? If you answered yes, or maybe, or to any of these questions, I'm sending you some good love right now. Some good love, okay? So let's talk about a reframe to this. This pattern, this thing that you've been beating yourself about, it's not just you, and it's very common. It's more common than you know, but it's a protective strategy. Your younger version of you was trying to survive. They learn, if I don't believe the good stuff, I won't get hurt, basically. But you're not broken for doing this. If you are here listening to this episode, you're not broken. You are healing. Okay. Okay. Sometimes broken parts take a longer time to heal because sometimes we try to move on before the healing has done. Healing happens a long time. Okay. But like if you've ever broken a bone, you know that recovery process is a long time. If you try to move before the recovery is finished, you only injure it more and create other issues. Let that be how you think about disqualifying the positive when it comes to healing your younger child. Does that make sense? All right, so now that we've talked about addressing and adjusting to the cognitive distortion of disqualifying the positive, now let's apply some things. Okay, let's build a toolkit that will help us get out of this cognitive dissonance that we're in. Let's like break down that armor we've built up for protection. Let's walk into a space confident, okay, and positive that if we receive any compliment, we have earned it. Okay. And we are worthy of the recognition that we desire. This is really helping me. Oh, sure. Anyway, what you can shift receiving practices. So start small. Let one compliment land without deflecting. I'm proud of you. You really showed up today. Did you deflect? Okay, great. Celebrate micro wins, okay? So acknowledge good moments as they happen, even tiny ones. Write it down. Take a picture. And be like, yeah. And then like with your recap at the end of the month on social media, it's like, I did that. I did that. Even if no one else knew, you knew. Affirmation. I am allowed to let good things in. I am allowed to let good things in. That's going to be in a YouTube video, by the way. Positive moments don't need to be perfect to count. Positive moments don't need to be perfect to count. The more you practice accepting the positive, the more natural it becomes. So in my relationships, when someone shows you love, practice saying thank you. That means a lot. Boom. Instead of deflecting. Go ahead. Let people love you. Let people be kind to you without making it seem like something's wrong. You deserve love, your rude self. Notice when you're testing people by dismissing their affection. We just read this book, Honey and Spice, in the book club. And the main character, Kiki, that girl could deflect. Okay, Malachi could deflect too. But you didn't know they had a lot of stuff happening in that child. Granted, it was a young adult book. They still had a lot of stuff that happened. Malachi's dad was very, he belittled him a lot when it came to his aspirations of being a filmmaker. And Kiki was set up by some people, and she was this guy lied and said that it's a lie. I don't want to spoil the book, but it's some drama in there. Okay, great. So with my creatives, keep a wins journal. Okay, keep a journal of all your wins. If you go to an audition, and even if you don't book it, you got in that room, okay, and they said yes, that was good. Trust that they mean it. They're humans. They don't lie to everybody. Some people, you go in there sounding like mm-hmm. And they was just like, and that was good. Now you know. Okay, if you come out the room and the people outside and are like, yeah, it wasn't good. But anyway, keep a wins journal. Document every audition, callback, positive note, creative breakthrough, inbox, DM, whatever you get. Reread it in those moments where you are feeling a little low and you need a little kumbaya moment. Share your work without immediately apologizing for it or minimizing it. If you are at work, my corporate people, Accept praise without immediately listing what you could have done better. Own your contributions in meetings and performance reviews. Practice, yes, I did work hard on that. Thank you for noticing. Okay. I skipped lunch for this. They don't need to know that part, but go eat lunch. In your daily life, notice one good thing each day and let it be good. Without parameters, without anything else. Let it be good. Celebrate your body for what it does, not just how it looks. Let a beautiful sunset, a good meal, and a kind text message count. Don't dismiss it. And when it gets hard, discomfort is natural, okay? Your nervous system is recalibrating to safety. It's supposed to feel weird at first, okay? It's just like riding a bike. It's just like getting used to having natural hair, okay? It's just like getting used to a new diet. Everything gonna taste good at first, but you're gonna feel good. Yeah. Go slow. You don't have to accept every compliment perfectly. Just practice staying present. Progress over perfection. Get support. Talk to a therapist, okay? Get a coach, a trusted friend. You can DM me on Adjusting or Instagram. DM me. You don't have to do this alone, okay? You're not broken. You're doing this. You're healing, okay? Your inner child will be so happy. Your future self is going to be thriving. All right, so a monthly check-in. What positive moments did I let in this moment? Notice the progress, not perfection, okay? You will slip up. You will. Track your body sensation changes as you practice receiving. Celebrate the pattern recognition itself. That's huge. So I'll put some resources and books because I'm growing my mental health library, but I'm putting myself on a book buying ban. However, audiobooks, yes. Because I ain't got no more space behind me. Y'all see all these? Like, I ain't got no more space. But this is it. This is the end of this episode. We have talked about disqualifying the positive, addressing it, adjusting it, and applying a few simple steps. Okay, start small. We're going to pause. We're going to journal. We're going to reflect. And that's it. Okay, it's nothing hard. It's just going to take time. And I think that's the thing. We want to listen to this episode and say, okay, done. I'm done disqualifying the pot. If there's going to be some moments that pop up that you're like, this doesn't feel comfortable. Your wins count. Your joy counts. You count. Start small. Let one good thing in today. Just one, and see what happens. Please share this episode with someone who may be a negative Nancy, okay, or a dismissive Daniel. And they are so quick to dismiss everything. Just like, oh, they didn't mean it. Oh, da. Share this with them. And tell them to listen to that second part with the adjusting and the childhood trauma connection. Until next time, keep adjusting. Bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. I hope you take something away to help you make the adjustments you need. Before you go, please take a quick second to share this with someone you care about. And if you can, please leave a 5-star rating and review on whatever platform you're listening to this on. For more information about adjusting or to inquire about being a guest, head over to adjustingpod.com. Until next time.